In 2010, a single mistake on Google Maps triggered an international standoff. Nicaraguan troops crossed into Costa Rica, claiming the borderline had shifted, because online, it had. But this wasn't the first time a map changed the truth on the ground. Years earlier, along the Arizona-Mexico border, a government cartographer named Henry Caldwell made what appeared to be a minor error while digitizing old survey lines. One small mistake on a map, and suddenly the land and the millions in minerals beneath it belonged to someone else. Maps are supposed to be reliable. They're charts, coordinates, lines that tell us where things begin and end. We trust them with our borders, property, even history. But what happens when that trust is misplaced? When a line isn't drawn by fate or law, but by a human hand making a simple error? Henry wasn't a general or a senator. He wasn't signing treaties or approving international agreements. He was a cartographer, sitting at a terminal in a government office, digitizing survey maps. One small nudge, one line shifted just slightly, and suddenly, millions of dollars worth of land was on the wrong side of the border. At first, no one noticed. The maps were updated quietly, files were archived, and life carried on. But over the next few years, the consequences started to show. Companies filed claims. Exploration and extraction operations began. Permits were granted, all on the strength of a line Henry had traced incorrectly. What makes this even stranger? The land had originally been Mexican farmland. Overnight, it was being absorbed into U.S. territory, at least on paper. Backroom political discussions erupted between the U.S. and Mexican governments. Officials negotiated quietly, reaching an agreement that the transition would remain hush-hush. But why not just erase the line, fire Henry, fix the map, and move on? By then it was too late. The error had already worked its way into official records, corporate filings, and government databases. Reversing it would have meant admitting fault, unraveling contracts, and sparking lawsuits worth millions. Neither government wanted that kind of scandal. So instead, they buried it. As part of the compromise, the farmers lost formal ownership of their land but were granted conditional status to stay and continue farming. Essentially green cards tied directly to labor on the land. Local communities who had been working that land for generations suddenly found themselves in a legal gray area. Henry's story isn't unique. Maps have always been instruments of power, from European colonizers drawing borders across Africa to modern redistricting in the US. The lines on paper often matter more than the people on the ground. And today, with digital maps, the stakes are even higher. One small slip, one misdrawn polygon, can create consequences nobody anticipates. So what really happened with Henry Caldwell? Was it pure human error? A momentary lapse in digitization judgment? Or was there an unseen hand nudging the line? We may never know, but the ambiguity is part of the story. The line doesn't lie, but humans do. Maps tell us who we are, where we are, and what belongs to whom. But every map you've ever seen was drawn by somebody. Which means every map is a choice.